Well, good morning, YouTube. It's road trip day. I'm sure you can see the cars as they pass me. They light up my face a little bit. I wanted to talk about weightlifting, and there are like groups on Facebook and other apps that you get on and join, and you track your fitness and your stats and stuff like that, and I had tracked, I had added mine onto a men's group that I belong to on Facebook, and then you get these two chuckleheads, and they go, "Oh, you skip leg day," and so I go and I look at their profile. And so for me, I think I said this before, I absolutely hate doing squats. I hate squats. I don't like the movement. I hate it. But can I do it? Absolutely. Do I have a squat record of 600 pounds? No, I don't. I could comfortably do 400, 420. That'd probably be about it. And so I'll stick to around 315. And I'll just rep that out. And so these guys like, "Oh, skip leg day," and then the other guy goes, he says, "Well, his dumbbell curls are 80 pounds," So they're trying to equate that my upper body's massive compared to my lower body. Well, that's not the case. And I do lower extremity exercises. I just don't do a lot of them because I just don't like it. And so what I have, and this is because of what I have at home. Now, if I went to a commercial gym, there'd be a whole host of machines that I could utilize to work my legs. But that my legs are strong. My wife will tell you. Has no problem carrying me up 117 stairs, spiral staircase at work, nonstop. And I'm 294 pounds. So, it's just like my legs don't give out on me. It's the movement. I hate the movement, and there's some exercises that I just absolutely enjoy, like rack pull. Love that. That's one of my favorites. Barbell shoulder shrugs, one of my favorites. Hammer curls, one of my favorites. I just like the movement. It just feels very fluid and feels very natural. So I like movements like that. And you see some YouTubers or influencers, they got you doing all kinds of weird shit, pardon my language, and it's just like, the body's pretty simple, and a lot of secondary muscle groups will kick in, and you don't need to do all these weird things that you see some folks do. It doesn't make you any better, any stronger. And again, I've said this a million times too, I'm not competing against anybody. I lift for me. So if some jackass, pardon my French, when I look at his profile and his scrawny legs, and mine aren't scrawny, I do not have chicken legs, and it just cracks me up. It's just like, it's just, you get these guys and they just think they can say whatever the hell they want on these apps, and well, you could, because you can get away with it, because I won't slap you in the face, but it's just, they make these off the wall comments that it's just like, they're inappropriate. You'd never say it to my face, but yet you feel like you got the balls to say it, on an app or on Facebook. It just cracks me up. It's another reason why, it's just another reason to not post sometimes. It's because there's just always these naysayers and these detractors, and but it's like, I got a bench press of 450. That scrawny rut didn't say anything about my bench press, or my rack pull, at 550, 553, and or was it 555? Anyway, but you had your collars on there. I mean, that's weight. Anything you add on that bar is weight. And so I like to add everything. Add it all up. I got a scale, add it all up. I like to know what I'm really lifting. And, for the longest time when I was young, I never counted the weight of the bar. I just counted plates. And I was so disappointed that, I wasn't keeping up with some of the other guys I was working out with, mentally, I was counting their stuff and my stuff. I'm like, man, why am I not doing, why am I not achieving what they're achieving, And I take that back. I wasn't counting their stuff, but it's just what they were telling me. Hey, I did this, and hey, I did that. And I never verified it, And then one day, I'm lifting with my buddy who got me started in powerlifting back when I was in law enforcement. He's like, man, are you counting your bar? I says, no, I never thought to count the barbell. He's like, yeah, dude, that's 45 pounds. You got to count that. So then I started counting the barbell, and and then wow, I'm doing better than they are, in some cases. But anyway, so my buddy, his max bench press was 688 pounds, and that's pretty impressive. And now he's in his 60s, and now he's still cranking out 400 pounds, But now he's at the stage where it's like, I'm not competing against anybody. I just want to stay healthy. I don't want to blow out my shoulders, tear pec, or tear tricep, A 60-year-old man benching over 400 pounds is still world class. And if anybody that says that's not is full crap. And but you got to keep in mind, man, it's like, you get out there and you start judging people. It's like, well, how old is the guy? And then look at the guy that's he's got the big mouth. He's probably 30 something. And so let's wait and see what he looks like when he's in his mid 50s, early 60s, and we'll see what he's pushing then, or see how pain-free or injury-free he is. And I don't do any PEDs, and a lot of these guys do. I mean, they're just as juiced up as some of these professional bodybuilders. And that's not me. Longevity and health, and I like to fight. So when it comes time to fight, you want to be able to put on a good show, right? You don't want to bite of that sandwich. You definitely want to eat 3/4 of it. And I'm just a firm believer in the stronger you are, the bigger you are, the more dominating you'll be, and the less likely you are of injury. And sometimes, dudes will just look at you and just go, yeah, it's not worth it. A lot of guys do that. They size up their opponent. If they're smart, they size up their opponent like, yeah, this ain't worth it. I'm not going to make it through this one. And then you got the chicken shits, they pull out knives and guns. I have no respect for guys like that. If you're not willing to roll up your sleeves and get a bloody nose, you're just a coward. And pardon my French, you're just a pussy. And I've had my nose broke twice. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's my rant this morning is Facebook weightlifting groups where you've got all these, pardon my language, sissy, they just want to compare and dog people, and then you look at their profile, it's just like, this guy's got no room to talk, none. And then you see him flex, and it's just like, and I'm not calling out anybody, I'm not mentioning names or giving out Facebook pages, I'd be like, go look at this guy, this guy thinks he's, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jay Cutler, he's the furthest thing from it. And, but look, if you don't have a stellar body, don't be critiquing other people, if you got man boobs, shut up, you're not in a place to talk about anybody, nobody. And so I just wanted to talk about that this morning, and for 10 minutes. So anyway, I've got a long drive ahead of me, so that's my topic for that, is these detractors on social media when you post your lifts, there's always that one guy, it's just like, I don't even know what country you're from, but it's like, I would love for you to, say that to my face. And but yeah, they're just cowards. So or you get these guys that don't even have a profile. They're as fake could be, a bot or whatever. I don't know what you want to call these guys, but there's just nothing there. No access to their Facebook page, no nothing. It's all hidden. It's all a big secret, because they're losers, and that's why they keep everything hidden. With me on my page, you can clearly see my face. I take that back. I did change the picture because I was out in the woods. So anyway, but yeah. So that's my rant on social media. Weightlifting, I don't know what we call them, weightlifting apps. Places where people go to post their workouts and want to show off a little bit in some cases. So if you ain't got nothing good to say, shut your mouth, don't say nothing at all. Critiquing somebody's movement is one thing. There's a right way and a wrong way to do that. But most of the guys I see don't even know what they're talking about, and the good guys never say anything because it's not their place. Anyway, so that's it. Like and subscribe, and don't be a chump. Get out there and work out. I don't care what you do, as long as you're doing something. And everybody starts off small. Nobody starts off big. Nobody starts off benching 400 pounds. You got to work your way up to it. I've worked my way up to it, and for some folks it's a slower process because, God has just made you genetically different than everybody else, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. But it doesn't mean you can't get there. So, anybody with decent, good genetics could be a great bodybuilder, could be a great power lifter. It's just how far do you want to go, and then, naturally, some guys can only put on 20 to maybe 40 pounds. But, if you're one of those guys that can put on 40 pounds naturally, and let me tell you, 40 pounds of muscle is a lot, compared to 40 pounds of fat. So don't be discouraged if your gains aren't jumping through the roof, because it takes time. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, so that's how you have to look at your body. It takes time, to sculpt, a statue. It takes time, sanding, cutting, scraping, getting cut, I don't want to say breaking a nail, it takes time to get there. And look at like Bumstead, he's been a bodybuilder, for 10 plus years, and it took him, 10 years to achieve what he's achieved so far, and as a professional. But a lot of guys started off in their teens. Marcus Rule, German bodybuilder, he never really made it big, and I don't understand why. Because he had the size for it, for sure. But he had some injuries and stuff like that. And I think because he smoked, that didn't give him the best image that I think that, the folks that run these competitions wanted. But, it's speculation on my point. But, yeah, he certainly had the size to be a great. He should have been an Olympian at least once in his career, because he had it. And you had guys like Lee Priest and a whole host of other guys. Some guys you question, some guys are just like, wow, yep, guy's got it. I just watched the Arnolds the other day. And, you look at these short guys. I can't think of the guy's name that won. I think he's like 5'6" or 5'9" or something. Just small. and short. Muscular, he had great size. But, height-wise, he's just short. It just cracks me up. You always see these short guys, and they do exceptionally well. And very rare do you see anybody over 6'2", really knocking it out of the park. But, like Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno should have been Mr. Olympia at least twice. Because I've watched him. And in my opinion, Lou Ferrigno was discriminated against because of his hearing impairment. That's the only thing, in my humble opinion, that would keep Lou Ferrigno from winning that. And I think he was discriminated against because he certainly had the body and the looks and the power and was just in great shape. So anyway, that's my rant on that, buddy. So please like and subscribe. Hey, post your what's your best bench or your best squat? Post that in your comments. Post that in the comments there, and I'd like to see. I'd like to read about it. And how long have you been lifting, and how old are you? And what's your goal? Where do you want to be, and why? So post it on there, share it, and I'd like to see it. So like and subscribe, doesn't cost you anything, and I certainly would appreciate it. It helps me grow my channel, and YouTube will put me out there a little bit more, I hope. So thanks for watching.